Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Phenomenal Reviews. And no, this is not the amazing review I've been talking about for the Punisher movie. That will be coming soon. Of course, though, this is a review for a book that I've been reading, and it's been a while since I've done a book, but when I say you all, I mean me, because who really watches these anyway? I digress. So, what book am I here to talk about? Well, I have reviewed every single Assassin's Creed book except Brotherhood because I didn't start doing this until after I finished the book. So, I'm here to talk about Assassin's Creed Black Flag, the book. Now, I liked this book. I didn't really have anything wrong with it. It was good. I haven't played much of the game. The only part of the game I have played is the beginning where you start out as Edward Kenway talking to Caroline, where he then finds an assassin, kills him, takes his robes, and then portrays his identity. And then he eventually becomes a pirate, gets involved with Blackbeard, otherwise known as Edward Thatch, and all this time, Edward finds in the assassin's pocket a little cube that has spigots of blood, which when they get to the observatory, we find out that it's actually images that they can see through whoever the people's blood is in the cube. It shows events in the person's life, which I thought was cool. I was telling someone about that at work yesterday. But one thing I like about this book is it's not like Assassin's Creed 2, where it's the game all the way through. This book is the game, but this actually has more stories. This tells what Edward was like before he became an assassin. He's wanting to be a rich man, like how they say in the games. He's wanting to be a rich man. He's wanting wealth. He's wanting everything. He's wanting to be a wonderful person. He lived on a farm, and then when he would cause trouble when he was a kid, you know, like what most teenagers do. But his house eventually catches on fire, and he sees someone in a hood jump out, and the person is actually looking for him. And the guy's like, leave now, or I will come back and kill you. So then eventually he joins a pirate crew, and then he eventually runs into Blackbeard, and they have great, amazing stories together. Now, there is not much mention about Caroline. The only thing that really is mentioned... Actually, no, there is. There actually is much more mention about her than I'm guessing there is in the games. Or in the game. In the beginning of the game, it just shows her laying on the floor, or on their bed, talking to Edward. They are married in the beginning of the game. This book tells about how they led up to being married, or she was supposed to be married to someone else, but she was actually in love with Edward, and then they got married. It pissed off the person that she was supposed to be engaged to. Edward beat the living crap out of him, and then, they got married, their lives sucked, and he decided he would go become a privateer, or a pirate, basically, for 2 years. And then he gets news that he has a daughter named Jennifer, who they do mention in the Assassin's Creed 3 book, which talks about his son. What is his son's name? I forget his son's name. It's in the third review. But this is basically like how in the third book, how it was told through his son's eyes. This one is like How I Met Your Mother. Like where Ted is talking to his kids throughout the whole entire TV series. This is where he is basically telling stories to Jennifer. Or he's telling stories to his kids. Like how the beginning of the third book kind of is. I actually did not mind. This one is probably the third longest book. The first longest book is Brotherhood, I believe. Revelations is the second one. This one has only 73 chapters, whereas I can't remember if Revelations had 75 or just 70. But it was a pretty good book. Definitely a good read. Definitely, once again, I strongly do recommend, before you play the game, at least either, if you're going to play the game first, go straight to reading the book. Or before you even play the game, like I've unfortunately played the game a little bit, but not too much. I wanted to read the book first and get ahead of the game before I even started. And I don't even own Assassin's Creed 4 yet. So I decided, instead of doing what I do with movies, watching the movie and then read the book to get through the book faster, I decided to read the book first and then play the game. Now, honestly, one thing that is awesome, they do more. I don't know how much they do with Edward's first crewmate, Adewale or Adaway. I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's a black guy, but he's a pretty cool character in the book, and I'm guessing he's a pretty cool character in the game, considering the fact they talk a lot about him in the game. But he is his first mate, and no matter how many times Edward has screwed up, he's always there by Edward's side. He never betrays Edward, never anything. And him and Adewale, or Adewale, or however you pronounce his name, they become really good friends, like brothers, kind of, basically. Even though, like, Edward screwed up, Adewale eventually leaves the pirate business and becomes an assassin, or works for them. Now, Edward doesn't become an assassin right away. He steals the guy that he's portraying in the book. He steals his identity and goes to claim the reward, which is where he meets the Templars, and then that's how he gets started. And then he realizes that what they're doing is bad. I'm going to follow them and take them out one by one. But now, something that I noticed in the game, he throws away the hidden blades. And this is like when I watched the gameplay of it. And when I read the book, I actually found out why he got rid of them. He couldn't make them work. It was like when basically you have a bad game that you can't get past the boss, or a new toy that you don't know how to work. You know, he's like, screw it, I'll just throw it away. So when he gets to the town that he goes to the meeting that the guy that he's impersonating was supposed to go to, they give him the hidden blades, and they're like, what? How do you not? They're like, you don't know how to work your own weapons and stuff? And it freaked him out, and he was nervous, and he was like, oh man, this is going to blow up right in my face if I do not figure out how to do this. And eventually he did figure it out. When he was testing them, it happened by accident. And then eventually when they found out what he was actually doing, and they tried to kill him, it worked. He finally figured out how the blades worked, and he killed the person, and then that's it. He doesn't become an assassin till like maybe the last 10 chapters of the book, but he does run into the assassins from time to time. He works with an assassin. He works with a pirate who he thinks is a man, but it actually turns out is a woman. And then one of his crewmates, they find the observatory, and when they go there, this guy, this other pirate, has 4 crew members. As soon as they go in there, he takes a knife, kills one, takes 2 pistols and kills the other 2, and then he takes the sword and he kills the other guy. And he said, I killed them because they would not be able to withstand the knowledge I'm about to show you. So then Edward sees it, and it's like astonishing from what all they've seen, and then we find out that how Caroline died was because she got sick and she was denied medicine. And I think it was her father. It was a guy named Wiles, or Willie, or something like that. But I think it might have been her father. I can't remember, which is bad because I've read the book. But it also reverted back to another person that Edward eventually ended up saving. It was 2 pirate women. When Edward eventually got taken out by the guy who betrayed him, sent him to a court, and he found these 2 women pirates who, to stage their execution, said that they were pregnant, and they had to stay in prison until they had their babies. Well, they eventually had their babies, and they took the babies away. Edward helped, or got the baby. I think that's actually how Edward might have gotten his daughter. I don't know. I don't think that's ever brought up. Either that or... No, never mind. Caroline gave birth. But, so... when that happens, he runs into the woman that he helped, the survivor, and they talk about how she knows Kenway's daughter, and what happened to Kenway's wife, how she died of being sick, and how she was denied medicine. And so then they went on a voyage to eventually kill the person who denied her medicine. And so the book basically ends with Edward making a deal, if I'm correct. Edward makes a deal, and he becomes the person he wanted to become. Him and Jennifer end up going to London. And that's where they stay until he dies in the 3rd book. Technically this is the 4th book, but this is a prequel. But, guys, comment below. Tell me, if you have read any of the Assassin's Creed books, which one is your favorite? What is your favorite Assassin's Creed game? Who is your favorite assassin between Altair? Oh, they do mention actually Altair in this book, which I thought was awesome, because I don't even think they mention any of the assassins in the last one. Not that I can remember. But Adewale is like, we need to protect the things that Altair stood for and do the things that he stood for. And it was just awesome to have Altair's name mentioned in the book. But comment below, who was your favorite assassin between Altair, Ezio Auditore, Connor, or Edward Kenway, his grandfather? Haytham. That was Edward's son. This one is kind of told through his eyes, but it's also How I Met Your. It's kind of like How I Met Your Mother. So guys, I am Nick Smith. Look forward to my Punisher review, which will be coming up very soon. Look forward to the next gameplay, which will be coming up soon too. Oh, and also check out for my X-Men Days of Future Past review that is coming out very soon, maybe even tonight. Who knows? Depends if I'm lazy or not after work. Guys, have a good night. Or day. Have a good day.